Amigos de Latin America Meetings TV, seguimos pues en estas conversaciones con líderes, con clientes, con amigos de la industria de eventos, todos los que hacemos posible que esta industria se mueva. Y bueno, pues hoy también tenemos un invitado especial. No dejamos de hablar de las empresas de tecnología, las empresas de audiovisual, todos aquellos que nos hacen que nuestros eventos tomen esa gran realidad y esa gran experiencia. Nos vamos con Hudson Barnes de JSAV Video para platicar qué están haciendo y sobre todo pues como lo que ya conocemos de JSAV Video, no solamente la calidad en sus producciones, sino también empezaron con una gran expansión. Hudson, thank you very much for being here with us. I understand it's better to be with English because though you speak a really good Spanish, it's better to share with everybody with all the technology that you have and with the new proposals that we are working with everybody. The main idea is how we can reactivate our industry, how can we start helping our clients to bring back the events. So can you share with us what is doing right now and all the technology that you have been improving right now?
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Rafa. Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of different things. I mean, first and foremost, nothing's changed. We're still the same company that we always have been. For us, with almost 30 years, over 30 years in the industry, but here in Mexico, about 26 years, there's a lot that's evolved over the multiple years, and but nothing like what we're seeing right now. And now it is time to reinvent ourselves. And although you can still get the same products and the same services, we feel like the demand has changed quite a bit. And, of course, everyone's talking about streaming now and how we do hybrid events. So that is probably the most significant change in what we're doing is basically adapting to the market and figuring out how we can do events in a safe and efficient way with the clients still being able to attend the live events, but in order for other people to enjoy the events that may not feel comfortable traveling right now, we're having to adapt that in particular, that form of how we transmit to them. So essentially it is by doing broadcast, and we do broadcast. There's a lot of different ways to do streaming services. The price difference in how we do those is really significant, and it all depends on the quality and what the client is, the expectations are. So what I mean by that is that just like you and I are having this conversation basically for free via Zoom or Microsoft Teams, et cetera, it's a very effective way to communicate. But when you're trying to reach an audience of several thousand people or even several hundred people, you really need to make sure that there's a lot more in line with the services and in particular the way that you're broadcasting your message. So for those corporate groups that are looking for solutions, we can offer those in a very sophisticated broadcast manner that's much more suitable than what we're doing here. The same thing with weddings. If the grandmother doesn't feel comfortable traveling to her granddaughter's wedding because of health issues or health concerns or just the travel nuisance for her, then we can obviously stream that services back home, not only to her but to whomever you want. And it's a very secure way that we can do it with passwords and encryption, et cetera, et cetera. So those are basically the biggest things that we're doing. Obviously, there's many other facets that we're having to learn. We just finished up a wedding here in Cancun just this past weekend, fairly large wedding with several bands involved and things like that. But we've got our COVID practices in place with everything that we've kind of heard with the social distancing and the sanitations and things like that. But there's always, it's a learning curve, I think, for all of us. I think essentially that's kind of where we are today, is just really trying to bring in the hybrid events and figure out how we can safely get as many people into a room and then also do the transmissions.
That's perfect. And also we understand, we have recently talked to many CEOs of the global associations, and we understand that the B2B, the face-to-face events will come back and will come strongly. How do you feel about, we're going to see soon the coming back and well, you know, people will trust again for the events, right?
Well, we certainly hope so. It may not come back as quick as we're all hoping, but I think that people are ready to get back. You know, it's been 4 months. You know, we're kind of counting since March 15th. So it's been about 4 months since our last really big show. And as I mentioned, we just had our first wedding. So that's a good sign. You know, things are starting to move forward again. We're starting to see the hotels reopen. As those start reopening, people start gaining more confidence in traveling. And, you know, I think the hotels right now are having great success. And when they have success, it's obviously a trickle-down effect into our industry.
Perfect. Just to remember all the people that are seeing this video, can you tell us a little bit of all the sizes of events that you can produce so they can have an idea, because you're making a lot of things, expanding the market, the business, but can you tell us a little bit what that they can count with you for events?
Oh, sure. You know, our company is so diverse and that we do handle a lot of different market segments. And as I mentioned, weddings, you know, we've done events for 2 people, and we've done events for 20,000 people. So, you know, the International AIDS Conference, when it was held back in Mexico City, I think is the largest event that we've accomplished. But the average size events, I would say, is probably closer to about 600 people. But we do certainly, you know, one day we can be working with the president of Mexico, the next day with Enrique Iglesias. The next day we're setting up a pirate ship on a beach in some secluded area.